So you were the one, our audience may remember this because we played the clip actually a couple times, holding up the Fruit Loops and showing how in the UK, they don't have a bunch of colors in them, but in the United States, they do. And you did this with French fries. You did this with a bunch of food products showing it's so easy for, you're not asking these manufacturers of food to do something radical. You just want us to be treated the way the Europeans are treated when it comes to our health and our food coloring, et cetera. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, American food companies are using toxic ingredients that are either banned or regulated differently in the same exact products that they serve American citizens. So for example, McDonald's French fries has 11 ingredients here in the United States, whereas in other countries, they are only using 3 ingredients and salt is optional. Then you've got things like Skittles, which uses 10 different artificial food dyes here in the United States, and the ingredient titanium dioxide that's banned in Europe because it can cause DNA damage. But in the UK version, they eliminate these ingredients. And this runs the gamut across the board, whether it's M&Ms. I mean, I think about Halloween coming up. It's going to be an M&Ms, Starbursts, Haribo gummy bears. Almost every single major American food company is doing this because they're using the lack of regulation in our US food system to their advantage. And it's very hypocritical, and I think it's unethical because we're American citizens. And as RFK Jr. said in that Senate roundtable, if any other country was doing this to us, it would be considered an act of war. We have an opportunity right now to let the American public know about this happening. And we are under a massive experiment within the human population. In 1958, let me just give you some stats. In 1958, there was only 800 food additives approved for use. Now it's over 10,000. And there are thousands of chemicals that have not even been reviewed by the FDA at all. They've been literally just slid right into the food system without anybody knowing what the risks are, what the safety data looks like. And you see the skyrocketing rates of disease and cancer and other serious issues that are related to a lot of these additives. And we've got to do something about it. In Europe, there's only 400 ingredients approved for use. So, we have a huge disparity between different countries, but also these are American food companies doing this. We need to hold them accountable. And one of the companies that is at the forefront of this right now, in my eyes, is Kellogg's, because they're targeting little children. Back in 2015, they said that they would remove artificial food dyes from all their cereals by 2018, but they never did, and they lied about it. And they started to create new cereals that were targeting the smallest of children using the most popular toddler songs like Baby Shark and Disney's Little Mermaid to create new cereals and invent new cereals that would hook children of today. And they're using these artificial dyes that they know are linked to hyperactivity in children, because back in in 2010, when the Southampton study came out in Europe started requiring a warning label on any product that uses an artificial food dye that says it may cause adverse effects on activity and attention in children. There is harm with their product. They are liable for this harm. And I'm asking them to remove artificial food dyes right now in a petition that has over 150,000 signatures on my website. And we're going to be delivering those petitions to their headquarters on October 15th. I'm inviting both presidential candidates, along with several different food activists and the general public, to join me. And I believe this is going to be one of the most massive grassroots campaign to hold American companies accountable once and for all, using one of the most iconic American brands, Kellogg's.
So I want people to support this. I tweeted it out, but for the listening audience, is it just foodbabe.com? Remind me of where they can go, because we do need people to sign this petition.
Sure. You can just go to foodbabe.com/babyshark.
Okay, / Baby Shark. So we have to put the pressure on them or they will not listen. I think it was Callie Means or somebody at the hearing last Monday saying, if just, some significant portion of the audience watching this would say to Kellogg's, we're no longer buying your cereal until you do this, it would happen overnight. We are in charge. Moms in particular are in charge of Kellogg's, whether they know it or not. So sign this petition and tell them we're not effing around anymore. Get this shit out of what you're putting on the shelves that our kids see as we go by. And can I just, before we leave this topic, I know there are a lot of people, especially my audience, who say Big Brother. Like we don't need, and I know California just passed a law trying to remove some of these food dyes from the school lunches. And I thought that was great. And I saw you tweet about it. So it's a Democrat and a nanny state doing more nanny state stuff. And a lot of people on the right, which is largely my audience, not all, but largely, they don't like nanny state. They didn't like when Mayor Bloomberg cut down on the big gulp in New York City. It's like, we know it's bad for you, but if you want to live your life like that, too bad. I see this as different, Bonnie. You explain.
That was actually the food companies lobbying behind the scenes to look for reasons they could try to get those different actions not passed, by the way. So it wasn't exactly, I think, like a conservative ideal. I just don't think so. I think a lot of lobbying behind the scenes and a lot of front groups behind the scenes was doing that work. But let me just tell you this. This is not the nanny state. This isn't asking for more regulations. This is, you're already doing this across the pond. Do it for us. Why are you poisoning American children and giving other countries' children's better, safer ingredients? This is a rigged system. This is not about creating more regulations. This is about doing what's right as an American company.
And there's no point of these ingredients, right, Vonnie? It's not like we want them to take the sugar out of Fruit Loops. No, you're putting in totally useless dyes to make it more marketing or more marketable or attractive to children, which are unnecessary. Or if you really want them to be colored, you can use vegetables to color the Fruit Loops, the same as is done in some other products.
I have both the Fruit Loops right here. Let me just show you. So this is the United States. Actually, this is the United States version, and this is the Canadian version. So let me just show you the differences in these. So this is the Canadian color right here. This is the US color right here. You can see the subtle differences in color and how much brighter the US version is.
Looks neon.
Yes, it is. And in focus groups, guess which product children ate more of? This one. And so not only are they using it for a marketing tool, they're contributing to obesity. This is sugar-laden cereal. This isn't the healthiest thing on the market someone can eat, even though the CEO of Kellogg's wants you to eat it for dinner in terms of all the inflation that we are experiencing as a country. I mean, this is something that is completely has to change. As Americans, we should say we've had enough. We need to rise up and tell everyone about what's really happening with the American food supply. And again, it's not just Kellogg's, but I think if we use Kellogg's as an example and they lead by making this change, I think other companies will follow suit. And I think they have a real opportunity here. I don't think they're going to want to have the massive grassroots rally that I'm envisioning at their front doors. So Kellogg's, if you're listening, now is the time to make the change. You're going to have to do it in California schools. Now it's time to do it across the board. Like you said in 2015, keep your promise. It's time to remove the dyes.
Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.